lot, now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep fitting in love.
What's going on, people? What is going on? We are back in the damn building, and yes, we're here for the trilogy. Manchester United versus Liverpool. Yes, it is the third time that we have faced them this season. Obviously, the first game being a draw at Anfield. The second game, unfortunately, was a defeat in the FA Cup. Absolute party poopers. And this game now being the away fixture at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Liverpool still on the march for that Premier League title. But before we dive into all of that, guys, please make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share and subscribe to the damn channel. Man, crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Manchester United versus Liverpool. The rivalry. We already know all about it. This season hasn't really been that great for Liverpool, if I'm being honest with you. We have not defeated Manchester United this season. Now, in the last couple of years, we've been calm when it comes to facing Manchester United. Do you know what I mean? It's not been too problematic. We've been, been able to just wipe them off the floor. We saw the 7-0s, the 5-0s and the 4-0s, the 4-1s, whatever. We've been slapping these lot for the last however many years. So the fact that we're in this position this season, and it's crazy because this season we're actually doing really well in terms of fighting for the league, fighting for the Europa League, but we haven't defeated Manchester United. And I know that sounds mad to say, of course it does, because Manchester United versus Liverpool, historically, that game has always kind of been in Manchester United's favour. If I'm being totally honest with you, they've been the dominant team. They've been the better team, won all the trophies. We've always been that little brother, I can't even say little brother, more like the distant cousin, just trying to stay relevant. We come round for parties and things like that, and, all of that kind of good stuff. But obviously, we're here for this game at the weekend. I'm recording this on Friday. So again, haven't heard the press conference or any news relating to Liverpool. All the news that I do know of will be off the back of the last game against Sheffield United. So hopefully my predicted lineup isn't going to be so far off where, oh my God, this guy is going to be injured and, things like that. But of course, we'll get into that and my predicted scoreline for that game. But guys, please make sure in the comment section, please keep dropping comments, likes, and all of that kind of stuff. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys think about the video and things like that. So the FA Cup game that we had, as I mentioned before, Liverpool losing 4-3 in extra time. I think, look, we were on top in that game. It was one of those games where you were just like, okay, cool, Liverpool are on top, but we're not killing the game off. We're having chances. We're getting in dangerous areas and all this kind of good stuff, but we're not killing them off though. That's the problem. And when you're not killing off these kind of teams, listen, as dead as they are, and they're obviously coming off the back of that 4-3 defeat to Chelsea, as dead as they are, you still got to worry about these. Not worry, but you still got to think, okay, they've got quality players in the forward areas, in the Rasmus Højlund, Rashford when he wants to turn up, Bruno Fernandes when he wants to turn up, Garnacho, who's been very consistent this season. You've just got to be careful and wary, should I say. But Liverpool are a smart team. They understand the threats of most teams. So I'm sure that they will understand that. And of course, coming off the back of that defeat in the FA Cup, I think it will be a different type of Liverpool, so to speak. I think that's what I think anyway. But of course, we'll have to, kind of wait and see. If I show you guys the game that we had at Anfield, where it was 0-0, of course, Manchester United fans, they would, they'll be absolutely excited with that kind of result. 0-0 against Liverpool. Of course they would be. Do you know what I mean? They didn't get slapped. They did not get slapped in that game. But for Liverpool, yeah, that's kind of poor. If I'm being totally honest with you, we set up in our kind of normal way. I think the team will be kind of fairly similar. A couple players, of course, Alisson, Trent. I don't know if he's going to be back for the game, but we'll get through that. But I wanted to more look at the stats of the game because that really told, a story. Expected goals, we should have at least scored at least one, at least one. 34 shots at goal, 34 and only 8 on target. Crazy, because we only had actually one big chance, which is mad to think. And that's why I say they set up pretty well in that game. I have to give them credit for that, because yes, we had 34 shots. Yes, we dominated in possession 68 to 32, percent, but you only had one big chance in the game, and we missed, or we missed one big chance, same as them, literally identical to them. So yeah, it's one of those things. Have all the possession, all the passing, and all of the things like that. But if you're not really threatening, does it really matter? I don't know. And I think Man United potentially might be looking at playing that type, of game. But again, I don't know, in terms of how they might potentially see it. If we take a look at the game that we had against them, that 4-3 defeat, if I take a look at the stats again, I bet it's probably going to be relatively similar, so to speak. So yeah, look, here again, even in this game, to be fair, they had a lot more shots. They were really coming out in that game. But as you can see here, expected goals, ours was actually a bit lower. Manchester United was coming out in that game quite a lot. Possession relatively close, 58 to 42%. 25 shots to their 28 shots, kind of surprising. 11 shots on target. Both teams, they had 5 big chances. In the game, we only had 1. It's crazy when you think about it, because I did think we actually played well, and on the face of it, I did feel that we did deserve to win. If there could have been a draw, obviously it couldn't be, because there had to be a winner, but at the end of the game. But I felt like on the face of it, we probably deserved at least a draw from that game. So it would be a little bit disappointing to see that we did lose that game, in the end. But at the same time, again, for that second game that we faced against Manchester United, they did play reasonably well. So again, I have to give them the credit for it. And also, we wasn't finishing our dinner. Of course, stats will only tell you one thing. For those who watch the game, you'll know there were situations in that game where we should have been killing it. We should have been finishing off the game. We had, 5-on-1s and shit like that. And, we just could not finish our dinner. So that's going to be the L for Liverpool in that kind of sense. And obviously an L in the literal sense as well, because we ended up getting knocked out. And Manchester United, I don't know, especially under Ten Hag, and I know, as I said, they're coming off the back of that defeat to Chelsea. They're just weird, man. When, especially this season, anyway. Last season, they beat us at their place. We ended up slapping them at Anfield 7-0. But this season, just when they come up against Liverpool, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. Like they set up in such a way that it's difficult for Liverpool. It just seems like it's so difficult for us. But it kind of it is what it is. It is what it is. And I think this time around, I think it could be pretty difficult again. This could be a season where we don't beat Manchester United. This could be a season where we just don't beat Manchester United. I know that's I'm not going to say unheard of, but I know that's probably a bit of a shock. And we are on for a title, and we do need to get the 3 points. We can not drop any points in this title race at all. We can't. It's definitely not allowed. If I take a look here quickly, Chelsea, Crystal Palace against Manchester City. That's a 12:30 kickoff. By the time this video drops, that game would have, of course, already ended. I'm going to predict that Manchester City will win that game away. And then Arsenal, of course, playing away to Brighton as well. So 3 tough away games for all 3 teams. I don't see all 3 teams winning. And I almost feel like Arsenal and Liverpool will be the ones that I'd be looking at. If I had to pick, I'd say Manchester City will probably win that game. Arsenal, I don't know. It really depends on what Brighton comes out. Not even what Arsenal comes out, what Brighton comes out. And then the Manchester United, Liverpool, will get into my prediction, towards the back end. But let's go through my predicted lineup. Let's just get straight into that. Cool. So as I mentioned before, there's no I've just watched the press conference and he said that this guy is available and etc. So I don't know in that regards who would be fit. So things may change between now, today's Friday, the 5th of April, and Sunday's game in terms of the fitness. Of course, I know off the back of the last game, I can't remember what he said about Ibu Konate, but again, we saw the talent on Ibu. He was down for a hot sec, and then obviously was able to continue in the game. But in this game, as you can see, I've already loaded up a couple of the players: McAllister, Bradley, Van Dijk and Kelleher. Bradley over Trent. Even if Trent was fit, I wouldn't start him in this game anyway. I think it'll be a bit too rusty to come into a game of this kind of magnitude, especially at this point in the season. Again, that's if Trent is fit. Van Dijk, of course, is obviously going to play. Keller is, of course, going to play. To partner Virgil van Dijk, though, that's where I was a little bit like, is Konate going to be okay? But I think I said it in my preview for the Sheffield United game. I just don't trust Konate, bro. And I feel like I don't know if he's 100%. I would just play Kwanzaa again. Honestly, I actually just would play Kwanzaa in this game. If I'm being totally honest with you, he had a decent game, like okay game against Sheffield United, but he's shown that he can step up to the plate when needed. Left back, of course, we saw Gomez and Robbo in that game. It's only going to be one of those two. In this kind of game, I think maybe Robertson, if he's back and available and he's good to go, I would start Robertson in this game. I would start him in this game just because I just think that what he would potentially offer us down, both him and Bradley, what they will offer us, they're kind of like your traditional fullbacks, not even really wingbacks, but your just traditional fullbacks in the sense of getting up and down the wings, down their flanks. Defensively, they're both okay. So yeah, I think maybe in this kind of game, but that's why you have Gomez on the bench, because he can then come in to replace literally anyone from right back, centre back to the left back area. So that's kind of my thinking, in regards to that. But I won't be mad if it's Gomez. In DM, I'm hoping that Endo is okay for the game, so I'm going to put him in there for the time being. And then on the obviously McAllister right central midfield. On the left, this one was tricky because I don't know what Curtis Jones is saying. Is he fit enough to start the game? I don't know. I think I might just go Zabozalai for the time being, just for now. And then obviously Endo in that defensive midfield position. But again, game state, depending on how the game's panning out, you can take off Zabozalai, heck, McAllister if you need to, and swap in Curtis Jones if we do need to get a lot more control. But then again, maybe what's his name? Maybe Jurgen Klopp might be thinking he wants to start the game with that level of control, quieten down the crowd, get Liverpool playing more on that front foot, passing the ball around and things like that. So I won't be mad if it is Jones there. I just don't really know in terms of the fitness, but that's what I'll go with for the time being. Up front, of course, who else is we ain't got no one else who will play there. Diaz, I think that's a given as well, playing on that left-hand side. The right side, this was the part where I was like, he took off Salah, which Salah weren't too happy about. He was not a happy bunny. We'll say that much. He was not a happy bunny after coming off in this game. I would play Salah. But obviously, it's my predicted team, to be fair. So I would play Salah because he usually does well against Manchester United. He did obviously come off in the game, so he's going to be a bit vexed, a bit annoyed with Jurgen. Just be like, "Yo, brother, don't keep, keep doing that. I know you're not going to be here next season, but keep doing that. I might just have to jump ship." Do you know what I mean? So I would play him, but I can see a world where Harvey Elliott plays there instead, and Salah has to come off the bench. But yeah, that's kind of my team anyway. So let me know what you guys think in regards to what team you guys, would put out there. Of course, Kelleher in goal. Back line of Robertson, Van Dijk, Kwanzaa, and Bradley. Endo, McAllister, Zabozalai in the midfield, and then Salah, Nunez, and Diaz. This might be, who knows, this might be the last, I won't say last chance, but this might be the time where a couple of players, Salah, Zabozalai, and maybe one of the fullbacks, where Klopp's looking at them thinking, okay, especially once the Trents, the Allisons, the Jotas, once they come back, you know what I mean? Curtis Jones, when he's back to full fitness as well. Hey, if you guys are not performing in these kind of games, yeah, these guys are going to come straight back in and almost take back their spots, kind of thing. So yeah, I think those players definitely need to just keep an eye out for the bench for this game. I think McAllister is going to be quite pivotal in whatever Liverpool are trying to do, whether that's a possession game based, just trying to keep the ball. I felt like in the game against Sheffield United, we was a bit slow and again, he is at the crux of that, but that's a team thing. And he will also be, in terms of the attacking sense, if we do want to go a bit more expansive, I feel like that's where you're looking at McAllister to kind of really get the ball rolling. That kind of free roam that he's been allowed to do for Liverpool recently as well. I've been liking it, man. Again, playing in that 8, I keep saying it, play the person in their position and you're good. Play the person in the position and you're good, man. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully we see more of that. Hopefully, he can just keep up his form, whether it's a goal, whether it's an assist, whether it's both, kind of keep that level of consistency going between now and the end of the season. And then, yeah, hopefully, I hope we do, of course, get that victory. But we'll of course, we'll have to wait and see. Prediction. I will go with 2-2. A 2-2. I don't know, man. Just imagine that a bookie. They're just so bookie. And I just think that with the way that they played against us at Anfield, they showed one side of their game where, yes, it was about obviously trying to hit us on the counter attack and stuff like that, but it was way more defensive in that low block. And at Anfield, that's a tough thing to do for a full 90 minutes and still have your own chances as well. At Old Trafford, it's like they did the exact same thing, but they had more of an onus to do a bit more counter-attack football, play a bit more at times when they could play, try to be a bit more on the front foot, at times be a bit more expansive. So then I'm like, they're probably going to try and do the same kind of thing, if I'm being honest with you. So that's where Liverpool are going to need to make sure that we've got the ideas to be able to break them down and get us enough goals to obviously, of course, win the game. And that's where I'm just like, I don't really know. I'm not confident in that sense. I'm not confident we couldn't win. Of course we can win. But just in this game, I just feel like Ten Hag may just have the edge here. Just a little bit. But I hope we do win. But I'm going to go at this time. I'm going to sit on the fence, unfortunately. That's where my head is kind of swaying, if I'm being totally honest with you. It's either 2-2 or Liverpool win like 3-4-0. It kind of thing. I don't know. I don't think Manchester will, but I said maybe that was a bit of a jinx. But yeah, touch wood, Liverpool win the game. But I can just see a 2-2 kind of thing. Let me know what you guys think in regards to what your scoreline would be for the game. Make sure as well, guys, I've got obviously videos, so many videos flying around. This video, don't really even know actually. I might actually drop this. I may drop this on Saturday. I may drop this on Sunday. If it drops on Sunday, then of course the 2 other teams in the title race would have already played. If I drop it on the Saturday, then maybe just before an Arsenal play. Who knows? I don't really know yet. So yeah, we'll wait and kind of see. But just make sure you guys are checking out my videos, whether this is before or after 10 p.m. on Saturday. I will be dropping my first episode of the Football Manager series with Crystal Palace, and then the next one will drop on the Monday. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the team, about the predicted scoreline. This is the trilogy. Let's hope Liverpool can round off the trilogy with a victory, stay top of the Premier League by the end of the weekend. I do not want to come on a Monday for the streams and be hearing that Liverpool are in 2nd or 3rd. I really don't want that kind of hassle. So please, Liverpool, do not embarrass me. I'm G. That's the match reaction done and dusted. And we out.